Hello, it's Leanne Peters here. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. It's been quite a while since I've shared some cards for the month ahead, and I've just been hosting a couple of healing events and doing some personal readings for May, and there are some interesting things coming up that I wanted to explore further for May 2020. So what I've been inspired to do is to lay out some cards for all of us, for the collective, for May, and see what comes up in those cards. So what I'll be doing is using my combined Speed of Light Oracle cards with my Animal Kingdom Oracle cards, and I'm going to be laying these out in an intuitive way, which is like a reading for May. I'll also be using my Healing Energy cards throughout and looking for a theme for May too with those particular cards. So this is general guidance. I trust you've been led here for a reason. If you're watching this now, just take on board what feels right, what resonates, what makes sense and fits into your life at the time, and let the rest go. Please come back and connect with this recording throughout May to see how it fits in, and there might be parts within it that speak to you more loudly as you progress through the month. So take a nice big breath and we will see. So I'm asking the cards, what do we need to know for May 2020? I'm recording this on April 30, 2020. So what do we need to know for May as a collective? Okay. Okay, I'm just going to pull two Healing Energy cards for the layout. These will always add a healing slant to the guidance. And I'm also going to pull a card for our theme for May. So what's our theme for May from a healing perspective? The majority of us, as we move forward through May, our theme is this stillness. So we're being encouraged to find our stillness, but there's a throat chakra connection here too. So it's reminding us and inspiring us. Some of us may be quite inspired to connect in with that inner silence, that inner stillness, and connect in and work out more clearly what our truth is. And that means working out who we are. So this is a great opportunity to practice our stillness, to exercise our self-control and our self-discipline so that we can establish a stronger sense of understanding about who we are. Because we're going to need that as we move forward and as life opens up for us. We're going to find it quite beneficial. I'm feeling really strongly this morning as we move through May, we're going to find it really beneficial to understand more about who we are as we get back into life again. As life opens up, as this new chapter opens, when life returns for some of us out of the cave and into life, we're going to need to understand more about who we are. This will be a great benefit to us. Okay, so let's just turn over these cards so I can see them. Okay, great. So early on in May 2020, we're being encouraged to keep our focus. So we might find meditation really helpful to keep our mind disciplined and our mind focused. So this is about just noticing when we're being distracted and gently bringing our focus back on track, back on track, back on track. So really checking in and making sure that we are paying attention to and acting upon and doing the things that we need to do. Now, this will be a really important thing to practice, focusing or avoiding distractions as we journey through the minefield of our life at this time, especially in early May. So some of us may feel like we're walking through a minefield and there are mines planted in this ground, in the ground around us, but we don't know and we're a bit hesitant to know where to step, just in case we step on a landmine, just in case things blow up for us. We can't, or it's not encouraged for us to live our life hesitant or cautious about the steps that we take. If we're feeling that way, then we're probably not feeling confident and we're probably not feeling clarity. So let's remember that we're supported as we walk through the minefield, and let's not be paranoid or anxious about where we're stepping right now. And this can be the case, like in connections with other people, co-workers, in our relationships or in our family situation. We might be scared to say something in case we tread on the eggshells, or in case we tread on a landmine and something blows up than when we didn't intend to. So if that's happened before, we may feel a little hesitant in moving forward or taking the steps that we need to take. But walking through this battlefield, through this minefield, is a temporary, and it's just the place that some of us are in early in May. So we're being encouraged to just keep moving, keep taking the steps, because it's temporary and we are being supported as we walk through. Whatever happens, whatever landmine we might tread on, we just have to deal with it at the time. So instead of being paranoid or anxious or cautious, just in case, we can trust in the navigation of our intuition, of our instincts, that will guide us through this battle zone, this battle sort of period that we may be feeling, so we can come out the other end. And life is calling us early in May, and we're being encouraged to listen to it. There's spring in the air, there's a sense of revival, a sense of new beginnings as well, a warmth after a period of cold or a period of winter. So this is showing that life is waking up, and life has a message for us, a personal message, and it's something for us to tune in, maybe meditate and connect with, or just spend some time in nature and listen. Ask nature what it has to offer you, what life it wants to inspire in you. Early in May as well, we're being encouraged to do some deep purging and clearing of our inner and our outer environment. So this continues to flow forward as we let things go and let our hold on things go. So deep purging. As we get towards sort of the middle of May, there's a slow sort of pace that potentially comes forward. And this is sort of in alignment with walking through that battle zone. We might find it best to find a slow and steady pace that feels right with our energy levels, our lifestyle, how we're feeling in our body. All these things will help determine what our pace is. So there's no right or wrong pace, it's just your pace. It's my pace. So we're not all moving at 20 miles an hour. It is, my pace is what it needs to be, your pace is what it needs to be for you. And you've been encouraged to trust in that slow and steady pace that you find for yourself. Now, as we move over the middle of May, there's a shift that's taking place, and it feels like something turns in the world, or something turns for us in our life that turns us into a really positive, hopeful, opening direction. We're being encouraged to observe when the green light turns on. As we're anticipating the green light turning on, or the doors flying open, or life opening again, we're going to feel really impatient with the waiting, and those days will really draw out and create probably a bit of angst within some of us. So if we can be like the owl, we may think of the owl stealthy, as it's flying about and all this sort of stuff, but it does spend a lot of its time sitting and observing. So towards after the middle of the month, we're being encouraged to observe, hold in our power, and wait. We're waiting for the shift. We're waiting for the green light to turn on. We're waiting for the doors to fly open. And when they do, it's going to be different than it was before. There is a feeling here, we've got cellular change. This talks about deep healing in the body, and also this deep union within ourselves. So we're finding this togetherness energy, and something being complete, something being in general over for us. But it does come back to very deep in our being, deep in our body, in regards to our deep healing, which is bringing forth an abundance as we move towards the end of May. So there is a deep opening that's pulling us further into our life's path. So things opening, moving, flowing well, being in good flow. That sort of thing is what's coming up towards the end of May. We're being encouraged to be compromising at the end of the month, and also to ensure our boundaries are secure and that we are aligned with our truth. So we're starting talking about our truth and we're ending talking about our truth. So by the end of May, I feel we're going to be potentially more aware of and stable, secure, confident in our truth and who we are. So this is an opportunity this month to get to know who we are, to embrace those silent moments because they're not going to last forever, to embrace the downtime because we are on the shift of things, the green light turning on again for us. And this may happen maybe later in the next months or so for some of us, but I feel like there's something that's shifting around the second or third week of May that's going to really open us up into something really quite beautiful. So there's an opening here and very much emphasized around our truth and who we are. So some questions to ask yourself in your journal this month is, who am I? What are my passions? What are my interests? What am I inspired by? What am I curious about? What fascinates me at this time? Who am I not? What are my values? What are my ethics? What are my morals? What are the things that are so important to me that I will not waver from them? They are going to also be part of what establishes you, who you are and your truth. What do you dislike? Sometimes people don't want to look at what they dislike, but I think it's really important because if we know what we don't like or don't want in our life, then we know what we do want. So based on what we don't like or what we dislike will help also propel us into what we do like. So if we don't like people that gossip, or we don't like that gossipy energy, that's something to acknowledge, because then that sends a arrow, if you like, of intention towards our truth, that where we realize that, you know, these are important things for us that help determine who we are. So I'm going to leave that with you, see how it feels for your May, and have a great month ahead. Keep an eye out for my videos here on YouTube. Please subscribe to my channel if you're inspired to. And keep an eye out on my videos, my live streams on Facebook. That's Temple of Balance on Facebook. If you want to learn more about me, please visit templeofbalance.com.au. We have some exciting things coming up this month, including this tree behind me. This is coming out as an art tutorial and will probably be out when you watch this. So an art tutorial, if you want to draw this with me, then I've set it up in some high definition videos in real time. There's no speeding up, and take you through the planning, the mapping out, the composition, through to shading, texturizing, creating those nice tapered limbs and things like that. There will no doubt be some new ceramics towards the end of the month and some new pendants. You can learn more about my card decks and all the things that I'm offering at Temple of Balance. So visit templeofbalance.com.au, please, if you're inspired to and you'd like to support my work. Thank you so much. I will connect with you again soon. Bye for now.